resolutions during Lent. Everybody always tries to come up with some, weight loss program or something for Lent. Okay, well, that's not really the point, right? Also, people come up with resolutions that they say, okay, I'm going to do this for Lent, but then after Lent, it's over. Like I'm going to give up Coke for Coca-Cola. I'm going to give up that for Lent, and then Easter Sunday, I'm going to go right back to drinking it every day. And that's okay. All right. That's not a problem. That's fine. That's good and well, because you are doing that penance, right? You are exercising your will, right? You're doing something good. But we also want to have some resolutions. We want to make some resolutions so that we can have a lasting impact. We can make a lasting change in our life so that we can grow to become better. Okay, so the point is we need to work on our dominant faults. We need to work on becoming more virtuous. So we need to figure out, okay, what is the thing that is holding me back the most from God? What is the thing that's holding me back the most from Christ? Right? It's probably not food. For some people, it might be, but for a lot of us, it's probably something more like pride, maybe anger. So we want to come up with a resolution that's going to be very clear and very practical. A lot of people come up with some kind of resolution like, I'm going to be nicer, but it's not very measurable. We want to have a resolution that's measurable in some way. So, as a life coach, I work with people all the time with making good resolutions. And while your resolutions that you might do for Lent might not be specifically measurable, as if you could measure them with a measuring tape or weigh them on a scale, something that you can actually go back and say, oh, yeah, I did that. Not like, oh, yeah, I feel like I might have kind of done that. Like, I felt like I was kind of nice once or twice. No, what are you actually going to work on, right? If it's that you're always mean to people, well, if you can say one nice thing a day, well, that's measurable. Then in your examination of conscience at the end of the day, you say, did I say my one nice thing? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Something that we can actually tell if we're doing or not. So it's good to think about coming up with a resolution that's specifically targeting what we need to work on the most, right? Let's not say, I'm giving up, I'm giving up smoking for Lent. Like, well, yeah, I don't smoke anyway. So that's not penance, you know, or I'm giving up chocolate, but I'm just going to go right on with all my other bad habits. Then that's not doing any good either. So, um, also be prudent. Don't come up with, say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do 10 resolutions. I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And then halfway through Lent, thinking, wait, did I have 10 resolutions or 11? Because I can only remember nine. Wait, actually, I can only remember five of them. Actually, I can't really remember any of them. Oh, well, I don't know what they were. Also, don't come up with some kind of penance that is going to harm you, right? If uh, if for the sake of your health, you need to get 9 hours of sleep, then don't say, for penance for Lent, I'm going to have only 5 hours of sleep every day. No, that's not prudent. You're going to be harming yourself. Same with coffee. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, I'm going to give up coffee for Lent. They give up coffee and then they're a total jerk to everybody because yeah, they didn't get their coffee. So, what good are you doing if you're giving up coffee and just making everyone around you miserable? You're not doing any good. Same with doing something else that's going to be, oh, I'm going to do really, something really, really intense. I'm going to whip myself every day and I'm going to take cold showers. Okay. You're going to be harming yourself. You're probably going to be doing that out of pride, and then you're going to get sick with a cold. You're not doing anything good. If you do want to do something a little bit more intense than normal, than maybe you have done in the past, be sure to talk to a priest about it. Don't try to do something, oh, I'm going to do battle with the devil. every day. No, don't do don't do something crazy. Be smart, be prudent. Now I'm not a priest, but if you want my recommendations, I would recommend do two things. I would recommend do something negative and something positive. And the something negative that I would really, 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 really recommend that I can bet probably we all need to work on is going to be something having to do with technology. The message of Our Lady of Fatima. Pray for sinners. So many people are losing their souls and going to hell. Why? For sins of impurity. So she didn't say, so many people are going to hell because of anger or because they tell lies or because they commit murders. If she had said that, then those should be the things that would be on the top of mind. Like these are the things we need to be careful about. But that's not what she said. She said sins against the sixth and ninth commandment. And let's be honest, let's be adults about this. The internet is not a safe place. So everybody, in this world, everybody's talking about like, oh, we got to have a safe place. What's your safe place? Well, if your safe place is in your bedroom with your smartphone with unrestricted access to the internet, then you're not safe because the internet is not a safe place. The internet is probably the most dangerous thing that you have in your house. And probably maybe some people won't agree with me with this, but the internet is more dangerous than even guns. Some people might think that guns are pretty dangerous. Well, yeah, they are. But the internet is more dangerous than guns because guns can only kill the body, while bad things on the internet can kill the soul. And our Lord said, don't fear those that can kill the body, fear those rather that can kill the soul. So, what can we do? What kind of a resolution can we make for Lent about the internet or about technology that we then can also continue after Lent? Can we make some kind of a resolution, whether it is, okay, doom scrolling, right? No more doom scrolling, whether it is YouTubing, no more YouTubing, or if it is social media, or if it is literally just, okay, I always have it in my hand and I go to bed with it and I'm looking at it. Okay, right? Even if you're not doing anything technically bad, let's face it, this device that we all have in our hands is clearly designed as a highly addictive behavior changing device. And even if you say, well, maybe it's not designed to be that way, I think it is designed to be that way. But even if it's not designed to be that way, it is that way. So whether or not it's designed to be highly addictive and behavior changing, it is highly addictive. And so we do need to have some kind of rules for it. Remember the days when nobody would call you on your landline before like 8 a.m. and nobody would call you after 9 p.m.? Well, now we're all just like, we wake up in the morning with our phones in our hands and then we go to bed with our phones in our hands. Why do we do that? Remember the days when you weren't allowed to bring a book to the table because that was considered to be rude? Like, why would you be reading a book at the table while everybody else is like enjoying each other's company? Well, now we all just bring our phone to the table, right? What happened? So we need to get this back. Oh, but my phone is my alarm clock. Okay, well, you know what? You can buy an alarm clock at Walmart. Um, put it on airplane mode, whatever. Um, there are things that we probably need to work on, right? And this is not, I'm not just saying you guys, this is for me too. I'm trying to crack down on my phone usage. So I try not to even turn my phone on until after I've done all my morning routine, including breakfast, shower, change, workout, and then so that ends up being like 11 or noon. I don't even turn it on until then, unless I have something that I need to get done earlier in the morning. But then also in the evening, besides nights like this, I try to turn it off at 5 p.m. and throw it in the drawer so that I can eat dinner without having to be on my phone, right? And of course, I'm not perfect, but all of us probably need to work on this somehow. If you can come up with technology that you control as opposed to technology which controls you, that's a really good step in the right direction because now you're using technology virtuously, where you are now intentionally doing things. You're making decisions. You're not just living on impulse. The problem with these smartphones and buttons that ooh, do things when you click on them and things to scroll and infinite amount of stupid content. Like, ooh, somebody sent me a video of a cute dog. Okay, how many videos of cute dogs do we need to watch before we've seen enough of them? Are we really making ourselves the best that we can be? Technology is weird because what is technology for? Well, technology is supposed to be a help to us to help us to become better. But that is not how the people who develop technology think about technology. They think about technology as making money for them. So they want to get us addicted to the technology so that they make more money. And even the scientists who are behind all the development of new technology, they're evolutionists, they're transhumanists. So they think that, well, there's not really any such thing as good technology or bad technology. We just invent it because it's interesting. And then people will adapt. So they actually expect people to adapt to the technology, which is exactly what's happening. We're adapting to technology. That's not virtue ethics. We need to think about this as, understanding natural law, understanding Catholicism, understanding ethics, that we are actually a certain type of thing. We're human beings, we're rational animals, and we have a goal, which is happiness, and ultimately happiness in the next life. And there are certain actions which take us to that, and we call those good actions. And there are certain actions that take us away from that, and we call those bad actions. So we have a morality, we have an ethics system, and that we need to develop technology and art and literature, and we need to study history, and we need to study science so that all of these things help us to become better, to perform those actions which get us to our end. We're not supposed to live for our technology. We're supposed to use it to help us to become better. So if we can think of a way that we can use that, which is going to help us, that's going to be super good. I recently discovered that you can go to Walmart and buy a kitchen timer. So I literally have a kitchen timer. So I try to do a 15-minute meditation in the morning. Basically, I read a little bit, think a little bit, pray a little bit. I've got a nice little kitchen timer, crank it to 15 minutes. It rings at the end. I say my spiritual communion, and I'm done. Rather than looking at my watch or having my phone next to me to see what time it is, right? Because what good is that going to be? So things like that. Can we customize, can we tailor this technology to make us better? Okay, so that's one thing. Something negative, probably having to do with technology somehow. Positive, something that we can do purposefully. How about something with our prayer life or with our spiritual life? And let's admit it, the technology is probably what's hurting our prayer life the most. So if I can do something positive, like actually say my morning prayers, right? Or if I already say my morning prayers, how about evening prayers? If you're already saying your morning prayers and your evening prayers, how about adding the daily family rosary? If you're already doing that, good. How about adding a bit of spiritual reading? Because that would be a good resolution to take for Lent and say, okay, I'm going to do 15 minutes. I'm going to read a spiritual book. You probably have one on your shelf somewhere already, or even the Bible. If you don't have a spiritual book, you can read the Bible. 15 minutes a day. That's not going to kill anybody. If you say, well, I don't have 15 minutes a day. Well, if you cut down on your phone usage, you will have 15 minutes a day. If you're already doing spiritual reading, great. How about adding 15 minutes of meditation, extra prayers? So I think everybody could do this. Again, these are just my recommendations. I would recommend checking with a priest. Obviously, if a priest says, don't do what Ed Simmerer says, obviously do what the priest says. Don't do what I say. But those are some thoughts to get you going on coming up with a good resolution for Lent. And I think those are going to be pretty solid.